Do you not like the female characters?
I find them just a little bit hard to like sometimes. It's just the way they're represented sometimes. It doesn't quite click with me.
Is that different than a villain?
Oh, well, monster villain, the villain is a human, the monster is a beast.
The big eye in the sky is always watching you.
Cosplay, the practice of dressing up as a character from a film, book, or video game. Do I know what it is? No way. But I'm ready to delve deep into the cosplay community and discover what inspires them. You will learn words like fandom, closet play, mashup, and gender bending. I'm even contemplating dressing up in my first cosplay for Comic-Con, if I'm convinced. I'm Miles Cloutier, and if you want to be wowed, stick with me. Let's go. I'm here in the northern suburbs of Johannesburg to meet Sean, who creates his own characters and costumes at home. Let's go see what he's come up with. Hey Sean, it's freezing this morning.
Hi Miles, it's extremely cold.
Do you have anything warm we can
I
drink
do have,
inside?
you want some tea?
I'd love some tea.
Come in, come
Yeah,
in.
boy, it's frigid this morning. Well, thanks for having me over.
No, it's a
Sean.
great pleasure. Can I offer you some tea?
I'd love some tea. What tea do you have going here?
I get some rooibos hier zo.
Oh, what the non-South Africans call red bush.
Yes, yes, yes.
Very nice, thank you.
Milk and sugar?
I'll have a little bit of sugar in mine, and that'll be fine, thank you. Now, Sean, I'd really like to learn more about how you got into cosplay.
Well, Miles, one day I was sitting bored with myself, and I said I must do something to get out of the house. There you go. And then I started looking on Facebook, and I saw this event, Geekfest. And then I decided, let's go to Geekfest. And I got there, and I saw these people walking around in costume, taking photos, and they are not shy. They are so kind. And I said to myself, it looks like fun. And I got some inspiration. I said, next year is the year I'm going to do cosplay. And then next year came at Geekfest, and I went to my closet and I just grabbed a few stuff and I put it on, and I designed the kickboxer. It was exercise pants in an orange t-shirt and some mercurochrome. I put it on my eye to have a blue eye.
Sean,
And,
you made this whole costume yourself at home with what you had.
What I had, I didn't even have any crafting skills at that day. I just grabbed something. I imagined a character, if you can put it like that, and I put it on. What now? What more do you need about a guy that is boxing?
Sean,
Yeah.
what is closet play?
It's casual cosplaying. It's people that they doesn't want to do competition level, but they do want to come out and do something funny or do a costume to stand out.
Closet play, then, is using what you have.
Yes, without any skills.
What character did you create after this?
After I created a kickboxer, it was The Sims.
I know The Sims. The ones with the thing on their head.
Yeah, the game with the diamonds, yes. I did some work in fiberglassing and I added in lights and a long stick. Years afterwards, now I have learned my lesson. But I had this stick and I taped it to my body and I was walking the whole time. I died by the end of the day, but it was the diamond, and the diamond changed lights. It was changed colors. But the people actually enjoyed it and everybody wanted a photo.
Sean, could you tell me about Dr.
Dragon. Dr. Dragon is a villain in the cartoon Kim Possible.
Yeah. What's Kim Possible?
The story behind Dr. Dragon is Kim Possible is this teen, 14 to 16-year-old, athletic. She runs around saving, assisting people. And Dr. Dragon is the villain that always tries to stop her or take over the world or so.
You chose a villain rather than a superhero. Why is that?
At that moment, it was the superhero era, and I felt the villains need a bit more light, a bit of a kind of view, because Dr. Dragon is actually, I feel he's actually a kind guy in the wrong way.
Do you feel like you have a villain inside of you trying to get out?
No, I don't have a villain, but I do have a monster that comes out.
Oh, okay. Is that different than a villain?
Oh, well, monster villain, the villain is a human, the monster is a beast.
Sean, have you ever entered into a competition?
I started being a professional cosplayer in 2018, 17, 18. where I did the Dr. Dragon at Rage. But the next year I went in seriously and I entered into the Geekfest 2018 competition where I won a Judge's Choice.
Sean, I can't help but feel the feeling of being watched since we've been in here having our tea. Can you tell me about this big eye over in the living room?
I was at that level when I wanted to start creating for competition level. And I dreamt up this character and I just said, make it. And when I made it, I realized, but I cannot enter it into the competition because there must be a reference to the character.
Sean, would you show me your costume, the eye?
I would love to show you.
The big eye in the sky is always watching you, hearing everything you say, seeing everything you do. Forever under surveillance, you can run but you can't hide. This is seek and destroy, only the strong survive. The big eye in the sky is always watching you, hearing everything you say, seeing everything you do. Forever under surveillance, you can run but you can't hide. This is seek and destroy, only the strong survive. The big eye in the sky is always
Wow, the eye.
everything you say, seeing everything you do. Forever
The eye doesn't speak, it just observes.
That's the whole idea behind the character. It watches and evolves and it learns.
Could you tell me what materials did you use for this costume?
Well, Miles, this character was actually a through together thing. The eyeball is paper mache. I took a exercise ball and I filled it up with air and then I put newspaper pieces on top and I glued it in. And then I blew off the ball and the paper cover was left over. And it was painting and spraying and so on to get it as it is. The white cloth was actually an old curtain. And then you have the metal frame to keep the curtain in the circle. That looks like the eyeball is, there's nobody inside.
Yeah. And then a construction hat.
And the construction hat, yeah. And that was the first edition. The second edition is the lights that came out, the lights that was added.
And that's the wires that
The
you have
wires
here.
that you are seeing hanging here.
Have you been to any Comic-Con or any festivals or conferences with this?
The eyeball I've worn at Geekfest, and then the year afterwards I've done the lights inside, the Evolution at Rage. And then I've run to Medieval last year, and that's where I added the grass hat.
And what's the reaction you get from people in this costume?
Everybody comes and says, wow, it's amazing. Where does it come from? And unfortunately I need to say to them there's no references to this character.
Am I going to see you at Comic-Con as the Eye this year?
Unfortunately not I have a different character that's coming up, but you will be seeing me there, yes.
Can you tell us, can you give us a hint?
It's something in space.
Sean, I hope that you've got some information from me and our civilization to take back to your master race or spacecraft mothership somewhere.
Yes, my monster has a few ideas and he's going to report back to his masters.
It's 53 days to Comic-Con, and Brendan is showing us his cosplay toolset.
Hi!
Terry is meeting the artist who designed her dark Wonder Woman costume, Roy Ledger. And Tifu rocked up at her first cosplay sewing workshop without a sewing machine.
Okay, so it is 53 days to Comic-Con Africa. And so I thought that I would show everyone some of the tools that I am using to construct my cosplay. So these aren't all the tools that I'm using, but these are the basics of what pretty much anyone who's interested in making props or armored cosplays would need to get started in making a costume. So to start off, the first thing everyone needs is a pen. This is just a standard ballpoint pen. You can use this for making patterns, for marking on your foam, for drawing whatever it is that you want to make a thing. And in addition, also a Sharpie marker, because it's generally easier to see a Sharpie marker on foam than it is to see a ballpoint pen. The next thing is cutting instruments. I personally like to have all sorts of different cutting instruments with different blade sizes, different lengths, all that kind of stuff. So I've got a standard box cutter here, a little craft knife, and 2 X-Acto knives, which I use for different things, whether it's cutting smaller detailed pieces or for cutting larger pieces of the foam for my costumes. Next up, we've got a heat gun. So EVA foam as a material, it is quite flexible and quite bendable, but in order to keep that shape that you want to bend it into, all you need to do is you need to apply a little bit of heat with the heat gun and it will stay in the shape that you put it into. The next tool that I would recommend for anyone who is interested in cosplay is a Dremel or rotary tool. A rotary tool has endless possibilities and uses. I primarily use it for finishing off all my foam cuts, for sanding down all the edges, rounding them over, and just making the piece look a lot cleaner, but it can also be used for cutting harder materials such as acrylic sheetings, anything like that. The way how your Dremel tool works is you'll have a whole bunch of little bits and accessories and different things that you can pop into the tool. So you've got your little sanding drums, you've got your cutting discs if you're cutting something like some sheet metal or some acrylic sheeting, you've got some polishing wheels, you've got some abrasives for cleaning stuff up. So yeah, all sorts of really cool stuff can be done with the Dremel tool, especially weathering. So weathering is when you take your costume and you make it look lived in. So if you're building a suit of armor, you may want to make it look like it's seen some battle, like it's got some gashes where it's been in a fight. And so you can use the Dremel tool for that. But what I personally love for doing battle damage is a soldering iron. Two main different types of kind of soldering irons you get. You can get the standard electrical one, or you can get a gas-powered one. Now you may be thinking, a soldering iron, that's generally used for putting together electronic boards and circuits and all that kind of stuff. But they also really neat for melting foam and putting in cool gashes. And soldering irons have different little bits and tips and all sorts of little accessories that you can put in them to make them do different techniques and cuts in the foam. Now, I've mentioned all this stuff about cutting the foam and shaping the foam and battle damaging the foam, but how do you glue all these different pieces together? My favorite type of glue that I like to use for gluing foam together for costumes is contact cement. And it generally is easier to just buy it in a big tin like this than opposed to buying the little tubes because you're just going to go through so much of it. But I also then decant it into smaller bottles just to make the application process easier. So I'm not trying to get glue out of a tin onto a small piece of foam, but I can do it with a small little applicator bottle. Another glue that I like using for small detail pieces is cyanoacrylate, or as you may know it, super glue. This is a really handy little glue. It dries really quickly. If you need to make any repairs while you're at a convention, it's always handy to have a thing of CA glue or super glue in your pocket. You know, things happen sometimes and your costume falls apart while you're walking around and you just need to glue something back, or just for really intricate small pieces, this is a great glue.
Hi!
Hi.
Okay, so I just first off want to say it is such an honor to meet you. I'm so excited, and it is such a privilege to have you doing a Zoom call with me and helping me make your costume or your art into a costume.
See, thank you so much. And I really love that you're doing this. And other cosplayers have done the same thing. They have done few of my artwork as a cosplay and a costume. And the only thing which I missed out, I was not involved in the process. So there was sometimes things I thought they could have done it better, like in the makeup department or in the hairstyle or at least in any other things regarding the aesthetics of the costume. So in your case, that's why I was so open about it. If you need any help regarding this, I would be very much happy to do that. You are doing this for the Comic Con, so I really hope you win and like do really well with this costume. You have my best wishes with that.
Oh, thank you so much. I do have some questions about the costumes. So I have kind of made a weapon of my own design that's like a broadsword that looks very similar to her Godkiller sword. Except instead of horse heads, I've used skulls. So this is the sword design that I've done. I've kind of cut some corners here. What I've done is I've taken some toy swords and pulled them apart and then put them back together as a nice long sword because I like different details from the different swords. And then I added the skull. I'm going to be doing some more shading to it, but I thought maybe a gold handle. Thoughts?
What I'm going with, it is a similar what you have and some darker golden shades and also some torn rags and some cloth pieces wrapped around it. So it looks more rugged and more like a little Viking weapons.
I love that.
So it will have like more story with the, like it is not a plain, like fresh out of
Yes.
brand new sword. No,
More battle damage.
it's been into war. It is more rugged. Yeah. So something like that. So I will share some concepts, arts with you that I really liked, and the one which I'm designing, it will be having highly influenced by those concept arts.
I
So
love that.
I like the concept which you are going with. I would say the version which I'm going with for my character, the sword, it will be quite long. It won't be a shorter like the Wonder Woman one. It will
Yeah.
be quite long, so it looks menacing. I have few sample images I don't have with me right now, but I will do share all these images. That sword, I would say, if you are standing, it should come by your shoulder. So it is pretty huge.
I wanted to ask you also about the hair. Is her hair going from braids into dreadlocks?
Okay, so this is the solo cutout which I did, and if you see in this the cape especially, that is how I meant. Like most of the people do like a Superman, like straight up cape.
Yes.
But actually it is meant for the side, like a knight. I will show you some references also why I went with this concept. So these were actually the inspiration, the if you see the makeup on the eyes and the face and how the hairs are. I will send you these images so you have a better perspective about it.
Yes, please
And
do. I would
it is
really
the
appreciate
texture.
that.
So these are the concept for the hair. If you see the dreadlocks, actually even I'm not well versed into it, like because this is a hair department. I don't know what are they particularly called, but I like these kind of hairstyle. And when I designed it, I had something in my mind like it should look like this. So I will send you these references so you have a better idea see how what I imagined it to be.
Yeah, no,
So
I'd appreciate that because this is very inspired by Lagertha from Vikings. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but it's very Shield Maiden kind of inspiration.
like you see, these are the few images which I saved, which I wanted to show you how
Love it.
the concept is. So it is very dark, gritty, and I love the. And I will share the who are these artists, so you can go through their profile and see the work they have done because they have done really, really beautiful work with the whole facial makeups and all these things.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a bit of a problem.
Oh no, what's up?
I didn't bring my own sewing machine. I really didn't know that I was meant to bring.
I don't know how you missed it. We put it on all of our social media and it was on the ticket website, but okay. Let me talk to a couple of other attendees and see if they'll be willing to share a machine if they like get a break or something. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So just hang around for a minute and I'm gonna go chat to them and see what I can do.
So I just arrived here at the workshop and I'm being told that I was meant to bring my own sewing machine. I did not know that. I really wasn't ready. I don't know what to do. I really don't know.
I've just come from the Wandering Eye to meet Ari, a cosplayer who's turned her passion into her business and takes commissions to create costumes. Let's go have a chat with her.
When I was a little girl, I believed in fairy tales. I wished my toys would come to life and that my stories could be real. Special moments made when you believe in magic.
Ari, is this your room or your studio?
Well, it's both my room and my studio.
And what do you create here?
All sorts of things. I do all my cosplay crafting here. Sewing, props crafting, pattern making, wig styling, all of that, as well as I do all my digital art, traditional art, everything, all on this table.
Okay.
It is abused.
And what type of art are you making?
So recently I do more digital art, but I do dabble in both digital and traditional art.
And what is your educational background?
So I've studied at Wits. I am a psych and English major. I was originally planning to continue with psych, go into abnormal psychology because I really enjoy the subject. But nowadays I think I might steer a bit towards teaching.
Tell me, Ari, how did you get into cosplay?
I woke up one day and was just like, I don't want to be doing what these people are doing.
Who were these people?
I've seen cosplay, like local cosplayers at conventions. I've seen them on like social media platforms and stuff, even international people as well. And I was like, this looks like really cool. It looks fun. And then, yeah, I woke up one day and I was like, I think it was Rage, like 2015 maybe. And that was the first time I actually cosplayed, was for that. And it was a hodgepodge of random items thrown together.
I think that's called closet play. Was it items that you already had in your closet?
So yeah, closet.
Okay.
Closet casual cosplay, basically.
I picked that up, yeah.
Okay, so it was like a kind of casual type of Harley Quinn story.
Harley Quinn is a character
from DC Comics. So no, Harley Quinn was the character that I cosplayed, and like when I'm not joking, I took 2 pairs of leggings, cut them in half, put them together. Used a top I had in my cupboard, put that on with it. So it was a bit of a hodgepodge of like items put together for this cosplay.
Okay. Where did you go from your first cosplay character?
So from there, I still wasn't very sure about how to make things and stuff like that. I think my cosplay after that was an anime character. So Kakashi from Naruto. So when I did that again, didn't know how to style wigs, didn't know how to make anything. I actually commissioned the jacket from another cosplayer who made it for me. And yeah, again, used things that I already had for the character, basically. So when I started off, it was mostly a lot of more casual, like closet cosplays.
You said that you got some of your costume from another cosplayer. Is that something that's common in cosplay?
Yeah, so you can ask, like, if cosplayers offer it, you can ask them to make things for you. Like, I do that, for example, as well. So, like, recently someone asked me to make, like, these big props that sit, like, on the side, and that it's from, actually, Attack on Titan.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's the maneuver gear from the anime that someone's recently asked me to make for them. So they ask, you work out basically everything you need, how much it's going to cost, you get back to them, and then you go from there, basically.
Do you create these things for other people? Is that a hobby or is it a business?
I do it as a business, basically.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's been a process. It's been a good couple of years of learning techniques, figuring out how to work with certain, like, materials and stuff like that. It takes a lot of practice, basically, to get to, like, a certain level. It's just try and try. You're going to mess up a few times. I know I've messed up a couple of good wigs.
Can you tell me about your wigs?
So this one was from 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So COVID, no conventions, nothing happening. But they decided to do Rage online. And I figured it would be a nice way to kind of get into the competition vibes, because, like I said, I'm quite nervous in front of a crowd, and I figured if I did it digitally, it might be a bit easier. So this is from that cosplay that I did then. It's from a character from BNHA, another anime. I do a lot of anime cosplays, and he's got like extremely like spiky hair. And when I started with this one, originally the wig that I used to style just wasn't giving me that spiky effect. It just didn't look right. So I actually took yarn, brushed it out, straightened it out, and sewed it into the netting there to get like make it more fluffier, and then I spiked it from there.
Are wigs a speciality of yours?
I would say yes. It is something I enjoy doing wigs. That's the thing. I love playing with hair. I love cutting hair and stuff like that. So when I got a chance to like fidget with wigs, I'm just like, yes. So this one year when I did it, it actually won best wig in the competition that I entered with it. So I was really proud of that because I was like, validation.
I see quite a large sword over here.
Let me grab that quickly.
This is like taller than you.
It is actually taller than me. When I made it, I patterned it to be way bigger than me. Usually it's bigger than the character that's holding it. This is the biggest prop I've ever made.
And what is it made out of?
You know those EVA gym mats, those like foam mats that you put on the floor?
But they
It's
interlock.
Like, yeah, the interlocking ones. It's basically made out of that.
And you have several different layers of it.
Yeah, it's 3
Glued
layers
together.
of it, stuck together, put together, sanded. It's still a bit of a work in process, but it's getting there.
And what runs through it?
So you get those wooden dowels. So I got quite a thick one because this is just wrapped with foam and it's going straight through into about here.
Do the symbols mean anything?
No, the symbols don't really mean anything. It's just the design that comes on it. There's 2 versions of the sword. I just like the gold version.
Tell me about your costume for this year's Comic-Con.
So I'm actually doing all 4 days at Comic-Con this year.
As the same character?
No, maybe might do 3 different characters just depending on time. So the first character is actually part of this. It's Hawks from My Hero Academia. And then probably Razor, the big sword that I've shown you.
Okay.
So that character. And maybe if I have time to fit it in one of the Attack on Titan characters.
How long has it taken you to put this together?
It's taken roughly about 2 months, I think, in total. Wings, everything, because I've sewn all the pieces. I've made the wig from scratch and everything. So, yeah.
Now, tell me about your characters and the types of characters you are attracted to or enjoy developing for yourself.
I'm cosplaying more from anime than anything else. I usually take male characters and gender bend them, which is taking them from the gender that they are and putting them into the opposite gender, basically. So, like, for example, Hawks is originally a male character, and I've just adapted his outfit and everything to make it into, like, a female character. Like, yeah, female represent.
Do you not like the female characters?
I find them just a little bit hard to like sometimes. It's just the way they're represented sometimes. It doesn't quite click with me. There are a few female characters that I do like that I have done, but mostly I do male characters.
And what do you like about the male characters?
They're usually short, badass, angry. This character's a little cocky. So it's usually those types of like... So I like high energy, kind of chaotic characters. I feel very comfortable in them. Like sometimes I step out of my comfort zone and do more quiet characters, but I find it quite hard to stay in character with those.
How does it make you feel when you're in character?
It's fun and kind of, it's a beautiful way to kind of like express yourself. Like with cosplay, I'll say like I was very nervous, like way more nervous than I am now, because with cosplay I've actually become more confident and stuff, like just being around people, speaking to people and stuff like that. So being in character, while I find it very hard usually, I love it, and I love just like interacting with other people that are also cosplaying from like the same like show or something from me. I just love those little like interactions you have. Like you see someone dressed the same as you and you're just like, and you go like running up to each other. I love the chaos.
You're a psychology major, so what can you tell me about mental health and cosplay?
A lot of people who cosplay do usually have like some sort of anxiety disorders, like social anxiety and stuff like that. And usually it's a nice kind of way to like put yourself out there. I find it makes me like very happy as someone, like I have down days and stuff like that, and doing cosplay things, working on cosplay things, it brings me a lot of joy and stuff, because cosplay is not just like black and white, basically. It's a whole bloody rainbow of things. There's so many different people in the community as it is.
Speaking of help, I have a bit of a problem myself because I am to be dressed up for Comic-Con this year. I'm not sure what my options are yet. What character would you recommend for me?
Honestly, you could probably pull Aquaman from the
told
movies.
I have lost a bit of weight since my Aquaman days.
Try to think, because like I don't want to get rid of your beard. Your beard's very luscious.
No,
we're not
I'm not
getting
willing
rid of
to
that.
make any permanent
yeah,
changes.
no, we're not getting rid of that. What characters called to you?
I thought the option to be a historical character was interesting.
Actually, yeah, you could pull a historical character quite...
You know, Some of them, I mean, pretty much all of them are dead. And I guess I'm okay with that. It's maybe a little personal how they went, if they were shot or killed or whatever, maybe went in their sleep. What competitions are you entering this year?
So I'll be entering in Comic-Con Africa, the Championship of Masters. I'm only entering in the intermediate level though,
Okay.
because I don't think I'm ready to be entering in Masters. Like, just personally, I don't think I'm there yet.
What is the criteria for intermediates?
So it depends what you're entering in. So we have two categories, usually needlework and craftwork, basically armor. Needlework and armor. So I'll be in needlework, which is basically looking at your types of stitches used, the way you've sewn things together, your neatness and stuff like that. They look at like the overall stuff, your fit. If you have like this jacket, for example, can I still like lift my arm out like this piece isn't pulling? So they look at like very particular details.
You know, this is really interesting to me because it's skills.
Yeah.
And it's fashion and it's fabrication and creating a design.
Yeah.
And then it also should look good. Would you show me your best outfit for Comic-Con?
Yes.
Hey,
Hi.
how's your costume?
It's good. How was the clementine? You
Is that what it was? It was very sour.
Usually people peel.
I thought you'd have
Citrus
more like majestical,
fruit.
magical fruits growing in your garden that were sweet and tasted like candy.
No, we just have a lot of plants and flowers. No, no fruit.
How's your wings? Working wings, eh?
Yes.
Amazing. And you've made these yourself.
Yes, I have. Everything besides these.
Could you tell me about your character?
So this is a gender-bent version of the character Hawks from My Hero Academia. He's a superhero character, basically. So a lot of the characters in that show have what they call quirks.
What's
which
a
is,
quirk?
Essentially, it's a superpower, basically. So they're born with like a certain ability. So this particular character is born with like the abilities of like a hawk, basically. So he has his wings that he can fly like really fast, very like precision. So
Normally
yeah.
a quirk is like something annoying, but to have, you know, a superpower is,
Yeah.
I think, an improvement. So your superpower, you can fly.
It is a hope one day that I will fly.
Wow. And what can you tell me about your personality now?
So like usually I might be a bit like nervous, a bit more reserved. But when I get into characters like these, I feel a lot more confident. The way I act will be a bit different. My stances are a bit different. The way I like greet people will be different, will be more towards how the character would do things. Because he's more of a confident, kind of cocky type of a character.
And you enjoy that?
I do, I enjoy it a lot. It's like, it's a nice way to like kind of branch out and let like a little bit of your inner self like push out with it.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting is when you're taking on these attributes, you're actually projecting them yourself.
Yeah.
So it's becoming part of you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, definitely I have gotten a lot more confident because of cosplay.
Now, this is the costume you're going to compete with at Comic-Con.
Yes, this is.
Well, I wish you luck, and we'll see you there.
Thank you.
Now, when it comes to working with foam and all these glues and dremeling and heating them, a big thing that we need to take into consideration is safety. Safety is of paramount importance when building cosplays. So the two things that I would recommend for anyone who's interested in making cosplays is get yourself a really good respirator and a pair of safety glasses. So the safety glasses, I'm sure as you can figure out, they protect your eyes. And the respirator actually has two different filters, one for dust and one for chemicals. So the chemical one you will use when you're working with all the glues because, you know, you don't want those harmful chemicals in your lungs. And the dust one, when you're sanding, trust me, when you are dremeling your foam, afterwards you end up covered in all sorts of grey dust. So you don't want any of that getting into your lungs. So the respirator will be your best friend. Also, make sure not to have any animals in your workspace when you're working with any glues or dust because we don't want our pets getting sick. As I mentioned cutting earlier, a cutting mat is your best friend. A nice cutting mat with a smooth surface for cutting will make all your cuts much cleaner and it will also protect your blade. You can get them from sizes like this small little one here up to big A1 size mats like I've got around the corner. Now, I've mentioned a lot about EVA foam. So for those of you who may be unfamiliar, this may be how you know EVA foam as a puzzle floor mat. You can see this one has had some pieces cut out of it, or as a yoga mat. So you can either buy it in this format if you're just getting started, or you can also buy it in large 2-meter rolls in varying thicknesses and densities from different foam suppliers. So yeah, this is a prop maker and arm maker's bread and butter when it comes to building cosplays. Another material that I use endlessly when making cosplays is paper. I've got myself quite a few rolls of this big brown paper and I use this for all sorts of things, whether it's laying down when I'm painting or drafting all my different patterns for my costume. For building cosplays, it's nice to get big sheets of paper where you can just draw things to actual size and you're not constantly worrying about trying to fit everything onto a small A4 page. Another material that I absolutely love when it comes to making these kind of cosplays is faux vinyl leather. This allows you to get a leather effect in your costume without actually having to use any animal products, and it's also a lot cheaper than real leather. So yeah, so faux vinyl leather, it's a great thing to have in your cosplay arsenal. Next up, we've got some paints. When it comes to painting your cosplay, a lot of people like to use spray paints. I personally don't like spray paint because of how it cracks, so I like to use acrylic paints because acrylic paints have in their chemical nature, they allow quite a bit of flexibility, so as it flexes as you're walking, it allows the paint to give a bit and it doesn't crack and chip away like things like spray paint do. So yeah, I like to use acrylic paints and I generally do all my painting by hand to get those fine details. A ruler is also a really useful tool to have. It allows you to make sure that all your cuts and all your edges are straight when you're drawing them or cutting your foam and all that kind of jazz. I forgot to mention this when I was talking about the knives, but a knife sharpener is also really useful. So foam, because it's a soft material, it actually dulls the blade quite quickly. So you want to get yourself a nice knife sharpener so that you can just quickly, every few passes, just sharpen your blade so it's nice and sharp once again, so that you're not cutting jaggedly in your foam, but you're getting nice clean cuts, and that results in a better quality costume.
The other thing that I was a bit confused about was the back of her loincloth. So she's got that blue little strip of shredded fabric in the front. So what is happening at the back of that? Because to be blunt, I don't want my butt hanging out.
Okay. When I created, I never thought of someone would be like actually trying it. So for me, was see how it should look from this perspective. So my idea was from that. But let me go to one piece. Can you see now?
Yes. So I've gone more with the previous picture you've shown me because I liked the design of the bodice going into the belt more than this one, because if you see with my figure, if I did this concept, we'd have a bit of muffin top going on. So I went for the other idea more, but judging by this image here, she's got some loincloth starting from the side.
I have to figure out what it should be. Like you can think in that I can give you also. You can think of something that like, give me a day or two. I will figure out something. I will draw something for
No
you,
pressure.
which my yeah. So I will figure out something, a cool way to have a cool design for the backside as well.
Oh, yes, there was one about the crown. She has a jewel on her tiara. Is it green?
Yeah, yeah, it is green.
Okay. Is there a reason it's green?
Yeah, it will tie into the story which I'm working on. So there will be reason eventually, like the same for the Superman, why there are wings. So
My husband has a theory that it's kryptonite.
I will not comment on that.
Okay, so now the fact that she's very Viking inspired, I'm thinking now because
Yeah.
when I do the competition, I need to be in character. So would I be more menacing and evil, or would I be more shield maiden Viking? Just so I got an idea of what kind of character.
More menacing, I would say, because as the story, the title of the story which I'm working on is also this series which I did of these characters. It is called Worst Nightmare.
If I wanted to learn some Norse battle cries, would that be accurate to her?
Yeah, it would, because I am really influenced by the whole Viking Nordic mythology. So it is heavily inspired. I want to like, but when I designed it, it was just a plain piece of art. But now when I'm working on the script, I'm working for this full-fledged story, then I'm researching what is the mythology of this world. Like it goes with my style of work. Like I like doing dark art and like very menacing, badass looking art, and I find it very cool going with that direction.
I absolutely love your art. So I'm very honored to be bringing this character to life, and I hope that I do it justice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so, and thank you everyone, all the people behind the scenes. Okay.
Bye. I'm actually completely geeking out. I can't believe I just had a conversation with Roy Ledger, the artist who created this design. This is insane. I mean, I hope I do him justice. I really hope that I actually do a good job with this costume and that I make him proud. Like, I never in a million years thought that he would even reply to my messages when I reached out to him asking technical questions about the costume, let alone be doing a Zoom now about it. That's wild. He did say I need to make a bigger sword though. So we're gonna do that.
So I found a machine, you can use mine. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Have a seat. Awesome. So these are our pieces of fabric that we're going to use.
Okay.
What you're going to do is take these two edges together.
Okay.
You're going to pin them, and then you're going to sew through them.
Okay. All right.
Wow, that looks good. Can you see the other
Yes, not
side?
as bad.
Dope. Cool. So now
Yes.
we're going to get your other two pieces, and we're going to do an open seam.
Okay. I've got two done, and they say I'm doing a really good job, and I'm very excited. So, will you be entering the competition, the cosplay?
No.
No.
I don't think I'm brave enough to enter yet. This is my first cosplay and I'm just trying it out.
Okay, but you'll be there, right? Okay.
Yes.
What character?
So it's an original character which I've come up with, which is something between a fighter and a Viking. Yeah, I just don't think my confidence is yet, but I never know. When I've got my costume on and no one can recognize me, it might be different.
I think you can challenge yourself to do it, you know. I think with me, I'm also just challenging myself. I'm also very excited, and hopefully I'll see you there, and all the best with
I
your...
will find you there.
All the best with
Thank
your
you,
with your
you
character
too.
and your kids, and yeah, have fun. All
Great.
right,
Have
nice
a good-
meeting you.
You too.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Okay, so I'm Jordan Beatty and I'm here at the cosplay workshop because I want to learn to sew and also surprise my grandmother who has been teaching me, but I haven't been able to get to her a lot. So once I have all these skills, I'm definitely going to surprise her a bit. Been to 4 Comic-Cons now, and I've cosplayed twice. And this year I plan for my main cosplay to be Chainsaw Man manga, which is getting an anime adaptation this year.
Hi, my name is Tylen. This is actually my first year trying out cosplay. I got into cosplay because I am big in the gaming community with my friends and it seemed like something really interesting to do. The cosplays that I plan on doing at Comic-Con this year is Mercy from Overwatch and Loba from Apex, and hopefully they go well.
Today started very stressful and complicated because when I got to the workshop, I was told that I was meant to come with a sewing machine and I didn't have one. Luckily, the organizer, Julia, helped me find one. I made this little pocket. I mean, not bad for a first timer. I'm so happy I took the first step on my cosplay journey.
Today I gained some perspective from the wandering eye and learned about quirks from Ari. And I also tasted the forbidden fruit. Until next time. What did people do to you?
So this one guy just came up to me, started insulting my cosplay. No, this isn't canon.
It's very interesting to see them sometimes out of cosplay because they're dressed completely different.
Yeah, a totally different person.
Yeah, like a completely different person.
That you may like or may not like.
Yeah.